There is a lot to get through in today's action. I was going to say action-packed video. There's no action at all. It is a packed video, though. There's so much to get through. So what do we know at this point? We know that Pablo, Felipe, I think we're going with that, or Felipe Pablo. I think we're dropping the Jesus. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do with his name. But you know the guy. The kid's, he's not a kid, 21 years of age. He's come from Portugal. 10 goals in 13 appearances. He is now a West Ham player. That has come from ex-West Ham United employee. They've done all the photographs, all that stuff. It will possibly be announced before you watch this video, by the time I've got this edited and got this uploaded. So that's good news, right? I don't know if he's going to be available for the Wolves game tomorrow. I suspect he will. I suspect the big rush was to get him ready for Wolves. So that's first thing, number one. Number two, Taty Castellanos. He's on his way. He's quite literally getting on a plane as we speak. Somebody snapped him. Somebody photographed him at the airport from a distance. It was quite fun. I don't know who took the photo, but clearly not somebody that felt emboldened or brazen enough to walk up to him and go, "Hello, Taty." It's Valentine, Taty Castellanos. Nobody was able to go up to him and say, do you mind if I have a selfie? There was none of that going on. So they've done it a little bit secret squirrel. I wonder if they pretended that they were on their phone and secretly took a picture. We'll never know. He's on his way over. That deal has been agreed. We now move on to our next target, which apparently is Charlie Cresswell. So we're going to talk about all those things. Before I do, let's talk about Raheem Sterling just quickly, if you don't mind, because that was really the basis of the video of me going live last night. I was going live about Taty and ended up talking about Raheem Sterling. And thank you very much for everybody that joined me on that live video. I really enjoyed that. Very nice talking to everybody. Raheem Sterling doesn't want to come to West Ham. Now, I'm not too bothered, but I have got a say on this, because talk about somebody with an overinflated sense of self-worth. We spoke about Brennan Johnson, right? Brennan Johnson is going from Tottenham, and he's going to Crystal Palace. He is a player, I think he might have signed for 40, 50 million when he went to Tottenham from Forest. But he's a player, even though that transfer might not have worked out, he's got his whole career ahead of him. I would not blame anybody like that not wanting to join West Ham. Absolutely fine. Absolutely get it. If you're forward thinking, it's a risk. It's a risk coming to West Ham. Totally get it. So West Ham are shopping in sort of, a slightly different, not quite a bargain basement, because we're paying money, but not the top up and coming players. I think we're probably not getting them, right? Raheem Sterling's turned us down because he don't want to be involved in a relegation scrap and he wants a permanent deal. But hold on a minute, mate. Have you recognised where you are? Technically, he's a professional footballer. On a technicality, realistically, he doesn't play football. He gets paid money not to play football, actually. So I just think, mate, this is the trouble. I think when you've been at the top for so long, you probably need to get a little bit of a reality check here. It was George Graham, who said never sign a player who thinks he's doing you a favour. For that reason, I'm not bothered because we missed out on him. He clearly thinks he'd be doing West Ham a favour anyway. He's not in the Chelsea team. Now, they've just changed their manager. He's not even in the squad. He's failed at Chelsea. He had a loan at Arsenal. He failed in his loan at Arsenal. He basically hasn't really played football for a couple of years. This is the reality for him. He's not in a position to be picking and choosing. Not only that, and these are for family reasons, which is fine. I've always admired any footballer that puts his family ahead of his career. I've always wondered about footballers, how they manage to move their kids from one school to another. Obviously, they're going to be rich for all their lives. A footballer's going to be, but I've always felt, that must be a difficult one, because you're doing right for you and you're doing right for the long-term family, but particularly people that move clubs a lot. Your kids will just start to settle, just get into clubs, just start to make friends. You're going to move them somewhere completely. They'll have to change schools and all that stuff. So I totally get it. Raheem Sterling wants to look after his family. So what he's also saying is, I'll only leave Chelsea if I stay in London. So I'll stay in London with my family. Okay, well, at that point, you're looking after your family. That's fine. You're sort of not playing football. You've limited your options. And now West Ham come in. Oh, no, I don't know if I fancy going to West Ham. Mate, you crack on. That's all I'm saying. Crack on. I have a feeling we've dodged a bullet. At his best, good player. I don't think we get him anywhere near his best. I don't think he'd be fit. And I would even question if he'd be motivated anyway. No problem at all. Hopefully, the Adama Traore one gets. Well, I think that, as I say, the deal is done. Two clubs have agreed, players agreed. They're just waiting. Ironically, they might be getting Raheem Sterling, but they're either waiting for reinforcements or they're waiting for either Chukwueze or Iwobi to come back from the African Cup of Nations before he goes. But the deal's done. But the two other deals that clearly are done is what we've just said. It's Pablo, Felipe, Pablo. I don't know. We're gonna get a grip on this name. I see this guy as being a substitute, really. I think this is what's going to happen. And I think, hopefully, might even be a substitute for tomorrow's game. In fact, while I'm doing this live, I'm actually just going to refresh West Ham's social media feed just in case it goes live and it gets announced. No, they're still dealing with Fulkrug, actually. So Fulkrug's signing for AC Milan, that's gone through. That's done. It's on a loan with an option or an obligation to buy. Let's be fair. He's highly likely to get injured. So I wouldn't be exercising that option if I was AC Milan. He might do well. He's a good player. He's a good player. But anyway, let's not talk about Nicholas Fulkrug anymore. That ship has sailed. Now, that brings us on to another player. I'm just looking for any other... No, there's nothing else there. I was just seeing if it had been rubber stamped yet. Castellanos. I really like this one. I don't think he's a world beater, as I've already maintained. I don't think we can go out and we can go and buy, loan, rent top level footballers. I don't think that's the case at all. This guy's all right. He's not too bad. And to be honest with you, not too bad is a big improvement on what we have at the moment. Callum Wilson, I don't have any complaints with Wilson. He's at the end of his career. I think we look a better team when he's in there. But I just almost think any sort of centre forwards would do okay in there. I'm glad we signed him. I think this guy will give us a bit of everything. Had a look, did the amateur scout last night over on Patreon. I had a good look at him, and I'd already had a look at him before as well. Looked a lot of his stuff. So he was in Spain. He was at Girona. He was at New York as well. I've looked at lots of different stuff from his three clubs. I think he's got a bit of everything. I think he'd be able to link the play. I think he's okay in the air. He's not the biggest player in the world. I think he's quite nimble. He seems to be able to shoot reasonably well off of both feet. I think he'll get some assists as well. I think he's a bit of an all-rounder. And as somebody that can play, I think he can play at the focal point of an attack. Is he got the physical presence that, maybe Pablo Felipe's going to have? No, he's not that. But he's going to be a lot more mobile than him as well. So I guess this gives Nuno some options off the bench as well. So he can either go with the sort of all-round player and I think the player that's going to link really well, which is Castellanos, and I think he's going to give him the fulcrum to the attack, if you want, the target man, the traditional number 9 in Pablo. So he's got a couple of options there as well, which is going to move us now on to Charlie Cresswell. We've spoken about him a few times since before the under-21s, but we started speaking about him a lot. England under-21s, obviously played centre-back, played next to Quansah, is that right? At centre-back. And maybe that's not right. I think he did anyway. The Liverpool player went to Leverkusen. He looked the most skillful player, went for £30 million. But it was really, if you remember, you're watching the channel back there, it was Cresswell that impressed me most because it was his leadership. And I was talking about, I liked his leadership. I liked the fact that he was attritional. He liked the battle. We're missing that type of stuff. And we did a video, a couple of months ago, and we looked at his aerial dominance in France. He was the second best player in terms of aerial duels in the whole of France. And the person that was better than him wasn't even a central defender. He was a striker. I think it was a striker. Not played anywhere near as many minutes, but his percentages for his aerial duels made him the best, technically, the best header of the ball in France, if you like, by the numbers. Certainly, Cresswell was the best there, really, in the French league. And I think he's continued that form. Certainly, he's very, very good, very dominant. I would love to get him. I think he immediately comes into the defence. He immediately improves the defence. I think he gives us leadership skills, gives us those qualities. I think this is really, really important. And I'm getting a little bit greedy now. I am getting a little bit greedy. I think if we could get this centre-back, if we can get the winger, obviously, we've got the two strikers. The two strikers are in, or more or less. And if we could also do this El Karouani, the Utrecht left-back, for the deliveries, for the set pieces, I would I would suggest that's given us half a chance. Now, none of these are world beaters, as I say, but I think certainly Cresswell has the potential to be a very, very good player. Beggars can't be choosers, and I think this is the point. I sort of want to make that point as well. There was a few people I've noticed questioning the age of Castellanos. He's 27. Okay, it's not ideal, but we're not where we are last season. We've just bought a 21-year-old striker. Our midfield has an average. Our midfield's got an average age of 21. I think. You know, I think what's that? Magassa's 22. Fernandez 21. Potts 22. We've got a 20-year-old. Actually, it was his birthday the other day. We've got a 21-year-old left back. We're all right in that stuff. I've got to say, I think we're all right. Those days are gone. We're just not the oldest squad in the Premier League anymore. There's enough young players there. We've got Kante coming through as well. Skulls played and will play tomorrow. I think it's okay. I think when your team's like that, it's okay buying a 27-year-old. I think you're fine. I think you're all right. You know, look, I think I've made it clear. I'm not bothered about Sterling. Well, Sterling, even if we'd have brought him in for a loan, season-long loan, that's fine. Is Adama Traore 28, 29, something like that, on loan or for a season? It's fine. It is absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that. You're signing players on long-term deals who are all in their early 20s. Not a problem. Honestly, not a problem at all. I don't see the problem. In fact, you could possibly make the argument that we might need a little bit of experience. Bring Cresswell in as well, who's a young man. No, I think this is good. I think it's a really good mix of youth and experience. Very, very excited. Don't know necessarily where the money is. I don't care where the money's come from. I can't sit here and say spend some money, and then when we do spend some money, say, where's this come from? Ultimately, I don't care. I know obviously we've sold Guilherme, and we've got Fulkrug off the wage bill. I think we might break even with Guilherme with the sell-on clause, and the rest of it lost a ton of money with Fulkrug. I don't know. Ward-Prowse probably going to go on loan. Southampton might be a club that might want to take him. Irving Rodriguez to Juventus. Have you heard that one? I guess, you know, we're clearing the decks and bringing some players in, but we had to spend. They had to whatever, use the overdraft facility or whatever the case was. You know, I doubt very much that David Sullivan's invested his own money. Kretinsky won't have invested his own money. I hear he's not investing money. That's what Nicky said it. Nicky Hawkins said it when we did the West Ham Fan TV video. He said, I don't think Kretinsky wants to invest any money while Sullivan's still there. You can't blame him. Honestly, you cannot blame him. This is the last chance saloon. It really is. I'm pleased we're going for it. I'm disgusted we're in this position. Pleased we're going for it now. And I don't think this should in any way, even if we pull out of this, even if we manage to get out of this mess, for me, it won't, certainly won't dilute my my desire for the owners to leave. Honestly, the sooner the better, really. I say the sooner the better. If it happened this week, it probably would be detrimental because we probably wouldn't be able to get these. We'd probably go, someone would be doing their due diligence, probably wouldn't be able to spend any money. We probably wouldn't be able to bring some players in. So get the players in and then get the takeover done, if at all it's possible. There you go. Anyway, so let me just refresh it one last time, just in case. I'm on the West Ham X feed is what I'm looking at the moment. So probably up. No, just wait. They do an unveiling. Did you notice, like in the summer signings when they were doing the unveiling, they were not like in a treasure chest or something. It's like in a crate, and there's suddenly be a player sat on a crate. I don't really know what the significance was. Like a big suitcase. Anyway, there you go. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. Get this uploaded and get ready. Get ready. So they get ready for the game tomorrow. I'm not playing. I haven't got to go and get my shin pads ready and have a little stretch in the garden. Bloody cold, actually. I said the other day, didn't I, on a video, there's been no frosts this year since I said it. Oh, crikey, honestly, I cursed it. It was actually snow. I missed it. It must have been through the night. It was snow this morning. Frost 2 days before that. Absolutely freezing. Lost me gloves. Lost me actually my other glasses. I bought some new glasses. I've lost my other pair of readers. So got me wrong readers on now. So I've lost my gloves. So I went walking the dog. Absolutely freezing. Anyway, you don't need to hear me moaning about the weather chat and all the rest of it. I will catch up with you lot tomorrow.